Scientists are increasingly worried that the second wave of coronavirus ripping through Brazil could endanger the rest of the world. The number of daily deaths has already reached record highs, while the health system is threatened with collapse. But President Jair Bolsonaro, who has told Brazilians to stop whining about the pandemic, has ignored WHO warnings that the new variant will affect the region and beyond. Here's our international editor, Lindsay Hilson.
A lone violinist on Ipanema Beach in Rio. But who's around to give money? Brazil's major cities are back in lockdown. Field hospitals are full to capacity as the death rate from COVID-19 nears 2,000 a day, worse than during last year's first wave and still increasing. The failure of Brazil's authorities to control the virus has led to new variants, which have travelled across the world, including to the UK.
Brazil is the largest open laboratory, is the brewing ground right now for the coronavirus to mutate and to generate new variants that can affect the entire planet. So Brazil, in my opinion, is the number one priority of the international community at this point, because if nothing is done, we will see new variants, and we could see a new virus altogether emerge from here. COV3 could come from Brazil. And then the whole community, the whole international community is going to be affected by what goes on here.
Not that Brazil's president seems to care. Last week, maskless as usual, he berated Brazilians for making a fuss about a virus that has killed more than 266,000 people, a death rate second only to the US.
Nós temos que enfrentar os nossos problemas.
Enough fussing and whining. How much longer will the crying go on? We have to face the problems, yes. Obviously, we have to respect the elderly, those with some disease. But where's it going to end if we just close everything?
Last night, a few supporters of former President Luiz Inácio Lula came out on the streets. Yesterday, he was cleared of corruption charges and may now be able to challenge Bolsonaro in next year's election. But next year is a long way away. In Rio, thousands queue for vaccination. Bolsonaro has said he won't have a jab because he already had COVID-19. But some Brazilians are falling ill for a second time with the new P1 variant. A study issued today concluded that the Pfizer vaccine is effective against P1, but not necessarily the Chinese Sinovac vaccine, which is the one most commonly used in Brazil. It's the one being used in the Amazon, where the new variant emerged in December. Less than 4% of Brazilians have been inoculated, and there's an acute shortage of vaccines.
If you don't go to a lockdown, national lockdown, and ramp up the vaccination to 10 times what we are doing now, we could reach 3,000 deaths per day by the end of March. That's the prediction, a very conservative prediction. And if that's the case, in the next 2 weeks or so, the whole public health system, which is one of the largest in the world and one of the best in the world, could collapse.
Yesterday, under pressure, Brazil's economy minister announced that they were buying more Pfizer vaccines. But as the ICUs fill up once more, the World Health Organization has warned that what happens in Brazil will not stay in Brazil, but threatens to undermine efforts to counter the pandemic across the globe.